right, friends, I am back. So please join me back again. I'm going to give you just a minute to join back up with my live. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. When you hop on, please let me know that you are back here by dropping a comment in the comment box, as well as throwing me some hearts. Hi, Tara. Oh my gosh. Welcome back. I'm giving it just a second to allow some others for the video to catch back up to everyone. So I am here and I am able to switch to my hands. I restarted it. I don't know, but we're gonna get to crafting. So as you hop on, please let me know that you're back by dropping a little hello in the chat box, and throw me some love, throw me some hearts or something to help me survive this. All right. I am going to show you the projects that I made last night on the first night of the craft along and share with you which one was the fan favorite. And then we're going to start with tonight's two projects. Okay. So these are the two projects that we made last night. This was the Love You bunches, and when you open it up, it has a spot for a little seed packet. And I threw in this little garden stake because I thought it would be really cute for you to put that in your garden and mark that those are zinnias. Okay, so that was the first card. And then this was the second card that opens up like a little trifold with that wood grain wonder designer series paper. And this one was the fan favorite for night one. This one was fan favorite. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside and we are going to get ready to start on night two. Now I went ahead and die cut some things just so it would help speed up the process a little bit, but you'll get all the cardstock to cut these. This is that new silver luster. So instead of being like a silver foil, it's got this really cool kind of silvery sheen to it. It's really fun, perfect for these garden tools. And then we've got some old olive, nope, these are granny apple green, little greenery, our little spade here that's gonna go together, and a piece of pecan pie that has used the die cut. There is a ground die here, okay, and we use that to just cut about a 1/2 inch for a little bit of ground. All right, so I'm just gonna we do need to put these two together, the spade. So the cool thing about these little handles and stuff that are cut out of the with these dies is that there's a little slit in there and it helps you put the two pieces together. So I'm able to stick that little spade in there and connect it. And so you'll want to use like a glue dot or a little bit of glue or something back there to hold it together. I'm going to just give it a little bit of glue and set it aside to dry for a minute. Okay. All right, so we're going to let that dry for a second. And I'm going to grab out my tutorial to start cutting. Now, if you would like the tutorial, you can still get the tutorial for $25. Let me just flip really quick. So you can get the tutorial for $25. That is available in the link. I'm also offering a special, and it doesn't say this in the link, so I just want to share it with you now because I forgot to include it, is that if you place a $75 or more order with me this week, I'll also share the Craft Along PDF with you. And you'll also qualify for the product of the month, which is the adorable stamp set. Well, I don't have it out right now, but it has the cutest little deer and bunny and duck, and it's great for spring, babies, just all kind of things. So it's really cute. And when you qualify for that, you'll also get another tutorial with 12 projects made with that product of the month. So the $75 mark gets you a lot of things this week. Craft along PDF, the tutorial for the product of the month, and you qualify to order the product of the month for just $5 more on your $75 order. Okay, so you can also still get the Craft Along packet. I have 4 left, so if you want one of those, just click the link in the video description. It'll take you to my online store where you can select that, and I have them ready to ship out. I got some shipped out today. Someone bought one. It went right in the mail, so there's no delay on getting those out to you. All right, so the PDF is 31 pages. It's full of pictures and step-by-step instructions, and so we're going to use it. I'm going to use it. I have it right over here, but I can't show it to you because it's only for those who bought it or earned it. But you could surely follow along with me. All right, so I have those here. We've got them die cut. We've got them cut together. We are going to stamp on this. So there is a little stamp of speckles in here to give the ground a little bit of a ground look. So I'm going to pull out those speckles, and I'm going to, I need to clean that side of it. I'm going to use some pecan pie ink, and I'm just going to add the speckles to this. Now I think this is a little bit longer than the piece is that I actually need, but I can trim the end for my card. Just add some more up top. Make it look all groundy. Boop. Okay, so there's our little piece of ground looking all groundy. It's a technical word. That is a true technical word, groundy. You can use it. You have my permission. All right. So we've got that. And now we are going to trim some of the beautiful mixed up patterns. That's what it's called. Not pick a pattern. It's mixed up patterns. We're going to trim a piece of this to, oh, I gotta cut my card base first. Let's see. Let's cut our card base. We're gonna cut our card base. So 4 1/4. Get those out of the way. 7 1/4, and then we're going to score this at 1 3/4. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my patterned paper. So I'm gonna cut my patterned paper to 4 by 4 1/4. And then I have a few other pieces of white I'm going to go ahead and cut. So I need, let's see, is this thick enough? This is the right thing. I don't think I have enough. Okay. I need 6 pieces of 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut those. I think I can get some out of this other sheet though. I like to use up all my sheets instead of creating more scraps. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we need a piece that's 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4. Okay. And I think that's all we need to cut for our card base. Okay. All right, I just realized I didn't have my microphone on in my frustration at the start of my video. So let me know if for any reason if you can't hear me. All right, so we're going to take and score this. I did just put my microphone on though, so you should have better sound than we started with. Okay, so we have our card base, and we're going to take our blue paper and the pattern paper, and we're going to line it up with the bottom of the cardstock here. And then I'm going to add some glue just to the edge here, and I'm going to glue this down. So just a little bit, because you're only needing a little bit here, you'll see. So from here, you literally have, as you can see, like maybe a 1/4 of an inch there. So you're just going to put a little line of glue here. Okay. All right, so I've got it all glued and lined up. Okay. You can see now that it is part of my card front. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to glue our 6 strips that we have here that we cut. We're going to glue them horizontally onto here. Well, we're going to glue 4 of them, I think. So 1, just kind of lay them out. 1 is 2, 3, and 4. So I got to lay them out. So I think I want to just make it easier. I'm going to lay it out like that. Okay, so you've got maybe about, I'm trying to think, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you got about that much. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch a piece apart from each other. So yeah, that's about right. So you're going to do that, 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 and that. Do you have any idea where I'm going yet with this card layout? Have you figured it out? And then I'm just going to lay this here. Yeah, okay, so that's about the right spacing. Okay. Pick this one up. I'm going to kind of leave them in place and try to just pick one up at a time. And add each one in place. I made a card similar to this, I don't know, about a year ago, but it didn't have the designer series paper behind it. So you'll see when it's all glued together how it comes together. And when you picture it, when it's all put together and you realize what it is and think about it without designer series paper behind it, there's some other things you have to do to make it stay together. Okay, so we've got those 4 glued in place. And then we're going to add these 2 pieces here, a little further out to the side. Okay. we are going to add those with dimensionals. So I'm going to give it some support. But I'm not going to put a dimensional at the very bottom because we're going to actually kind of tuck it in, for lack of a better word. And I think that's what these projects, by the way, were designed by my friend Rachel Tessman. So these were her contribution to our fun Hello Spring Craft Along. I do think I need one up at the top. So it's always fun when you're like making a card that you didn't make. And I didn't make it ahead of time. So I'm doing this just like if it was you making yours at home with the tutorial and cutting the pieces in the paper and doing it from scratch. So I remember when I was in, it's kind of like when I was in band. If any of you were in band, and we used to do sight music, and basically it was when you saw music for the first time, and you had like a few minutes, like 5 minutes to practice, and then you had to perform it. So tonight I kind of looked and read through the tutorial and cut my die cuts and tried to wrap my head around what was going on. But even when you go live, like your brain goes in different places. So just like if you were performing for sight reading. And anyway, so that's kind of how it is. I'm doing it from scratch, just like you would do it if you were doing it at home. Now we have this piece that we're going to add here to the bottom, and we're going to add that with dimensionals. So I'm going to try to think of how I want to do this. I guess it could have had dimensionals there. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to stick a dimensional there that's going to support both of them there. I stuck it out to the side, you know, and because I didn't do this before, I'm just figuring it out as I go. All right, so that will support that, and then I'm just going to put a couple more here. Whoops, stuck to my finger. And then I'm going to add my groundy piece. Just turn this over and trim the excess off. How cute is it already? It is so cute. All right, so now we're going to take those little plants and we are going to kind of tuck them in, okay? So I am going to use, I think I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue on here just to kind of get that down in there. And I want them to kind of be like organic. I don't want them completely glued down, but some of them need to be glued down to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, I think I'll kind of stick that back behind there. Maybe I'll just do it right over. Okay, just trying to figure out where I wanted to lay it. All right, so I got a couple pieces of each of them, kind of do, oops, this one here. And then one here. All right, that should keep them from going anywhere. And then we're going to take, remember that cute spade we had? We are going to tuck this in with dimensionals. Now, one thing that you can do here, and it's probably a good thing to do, is take some mini dimensionals. So I have some here. And you can just take and support some of these leaves with mini dimensionals. That way, they're stuck like Chuck. And they're not going to go anywhere, but you don't lose the kind of natural look of the leaves by keeping them still slightly elevated or three-dimensional. So we'll just stick some of them down with mini glue dots, and that will help. That one's not a good option. Give it back. Okay. All right, that should work. And then we're going to take and add some dimensionals on the back of our spade. And then a little one up here. And we're going to tuck it in. This spade is so cute. We're going to tuck that in. Oops. And I want to get that. Yeah. Okay. So there's our little spade. And we are going to go ahead and do some stamping now. So remember, we had that one piece of 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to stamp our sentiment on here, and we're going to stamp some flowers. And we are going to use some sponge daubers to stamp our flowers. Now, curious minds want to know, do you guys, like, are you particular about your sponge daubers? So I know I need a yellow and I need a green. That kind of looks like green. And I'm not real particular. Like, I just keep using them over and over through the years until they just aren't any good. And then I get rid of them. So we're going to use the sponge daubers to color the leaves and the flower on here. So we can color them 2 different colors. So we're going to start with the lightest, which is the yellow. So this is Daffodil Delight, right? Yes, Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm just going to go all over that flower and get it nice and inked up. And then we're going to ink up our Granny Apple Green and color the leaves. And so the way this stamp is made, there's a little bit of separation between the flower and the leaves, so it's not too hard to color. I'm going to put my mat underneath here, and I'm just going to stamp this right up in the corner up here. And I'm going to kind of go off the page a little bit, and that's okay. That's planned. All right, so there's that. And now we're going to stamp our sentiment right in the center of this little piece. With some early espresso ink. And this is going to go right about here on dimensionals. So I'm going to put dimensionals in the center, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue like right here where it's going to go, because I want it to adhere there as well. Okay. What are we missing? We are missing some bling and some ribbon to finish this off. So we're going to take this beautiful berry burst ribbon and give a little pop of color on here. So we're going to tie a little tiny bow. I want it about as big as my finger. And that's even too big. We're going to make it even smaller because this trowel is not very big. It does not need a big bow. All right. We're going to add this right there. Look how cute that is already. And then we need some gems. So we're going to pull out those cute garden epoxy dots. Okay, we're going to give some little flowers here. I love these cute little gems. And there is the little garden trellis card. Isn't that precious? It is so precious. Oh, you know, did I? No, I did. I was like, did I miss something? I didn't. I was thinking about something that's on the next project. What do you guys think of the garden trellis card with the little spade? I think it's adorable. I think it's adorable. I think it's adorable. Okay, I'm going to clean up and reset for the next one. So here was that adorable garden trellis with the spade. It is so cute. Look at, can you see that silver luster paper? It's really, really pretty. If you guys haven't got that yet, it comes in 12 by 12. It, just to show you, you get 6 by 6 in your craft along kit, but you can see just kind of how it's got a really cool sheen to it. So perfect for things like garden tools, where maybe silver foil is a little too shiny. Okay, so let's move on to project number 2. It's a cute style of card for sure, Carol. Okay, I'm going to set that aside because we're still going to vote at the end of the night on the favorite of the 2 projects for the night. Okay, so I have my die cut pieces for this project. So we're using the die cut piece from the Scallop Wishes, right? Scalloped Wishes, yep. So I have the scallop die, and we're going to use actually these 3 pieces. I think this is extra. And then I'm going to leave these in here, but we have little tiny leaves. Okay, little tiny leaves. And then we also have these, we have 3 of these little pecan pie. Well, I'm going to show you what they're cut from. It's cut from this punch. And this is, get this here. This is the, what is it called? This is called the slot, like a slot hole punch. Okay, so it comes from the hole punch assortment. So I've got some of those in there, and you'll get those if you get the craft along kit. We need a piece of this patterned paper from the DSP. And then we're also going to need a piece of Secret C. And now this was not included. This is kind of optional. I did not include these in my craft along kit, but we are going to use some magnets. So you don't have to make this box with magnets. There are ways to do it without. I'm going to show you how, but you'll want to get some of these little magnets for your craft room. You can get a lot of them on Amazon for a little bit. So you'll want to snag those. And we are going to start out by cutting our Secret C to 8.5 by 8.5. I'm going to go ahead and stick all my die cut pieces aside for now. So I already know it's 8.5 one side, so we're going to go ahead and cut it down to 8.5 along the 11-inch side. And then we've got some score lines that I'm going to follow along on a diagram. All right, so I'm going to start at 3/4 of an inch, scoring, and then 1 3/4, and then I'm going to go all the way to 6 3/4, and then 7 3/4. I'm going to rotate it and go 1 3/4, 2 3/4, 5.5, and 6.5. Okay. I think that's right. All right, I'm just looking at my diagram over here. Okay, so we have some pieces that we have to remove. So I'm just going to take, just for your eyes to see, we're going to cut out this. We're going to cut out this, and we're going to cut out this. We're going to cut out here, here, and here. We're going to cut out here, and here, and here, 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 and here. Okay. So if you're trying to make it along with me, that's what we're going to cut out. Now, when I do boxes, I like to get my bigger scissors out. So these are some retired Stampin' Up! Scissors that my good friend Joyce found for me because they sold them before I was a demonstrator, and she found some for me and got them for me, which was so nice. I have great friends. I never would have met Joyce if it wasn't for Stampin' Up! And now I live in the same neighborhood as her, in a house that is almost on the inside identical to hers. And then on our addresses are the same. We're just on a different street. When I came and looked at our house, I'm like, oh, this is just like Joyce's house. I know where I would hold my classes at. I knew exactly where I would set tables at. When I walked in the house, I was like, I know where I would hold tables at or put tables at. Okay. All right, so we got those cut out. I was literally about to tell you guys that I'm
doing so good tonight. I don't feel like I have to cough. And then I got like a little tickle in my throat, like I had to cough. And I was like, oh gosh. That's like saying the weather is so nice and then it turns bad, or you're like, we're going to win this football game, and then we don't. Sometimes you just got to keep your mouth shut. Okay. All right, so I have all those pieces cut out. And let me just make sure that these are the same. So that is 1 3/4, and this is, oh, that's 2 inches. So I just want to make sure. 6 and a half. Okay. So I was just making sure. So if you're doing this, you want to make sure that the largest panel is the bottom. Okay. So when you're cutting it, because now we have to create some tabs and we have to miter the bottom ones and not miter the top ones. Okay. So that's why it's important to know this section, which is 2 inches long versus 1 3/4, we want that at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to start by just cutting up this little section to create these tabs. And these are the ones we're going to miter. My husband is still hacking. So that's that side. I'm going to turn around to the other side and just cut up, but we're leaving these straight. We're not mitering those. Okay. Turn it back around like that. And go back to the instructions to make sure I'm where I need to be. All right, so I cut and scored the base, miter, cut the tab slightly, fold in the score, connect the bottom tabs to the bottom. All right, let me see here. Just want to make sure. We're going to go ahead and fold on all of our score lines and go ahead and use our phone folder. Oops. I'm trying to determine, even though it looks like she doesn't say to miter these, I'm wondering if these are supposed to be mitered. We'll see. If I have to adjust myself, that's an easy thing to fix. It's not going to be a deal breaker. Okay. So again, this is the 2-inch piece. Well, hello there, Maple. Did you come to give your paw of approval? You did? Well, you're in the way, so you can't stay here, as cute as you are. We have to put you down and you have to go. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, so we're going to connect the side bottom tabs to the bottom base section of the bottom front flap section to the side front flap. Okay. Okay. I see here what she's doing. I see what's going on here. All right, so before I do this, so this is where we're going to include some magnets. So I'm going to take a couple magnets out. And let me just make sure I'm putting them on the right way. I do need a double set. That'll just help me make sure I'm putting them on the right way. And I'm just going to use a glue dot. And I'll tell you that my favorite glue dots to use when using any little magnets is I really like the ones that come from like our kits or paper pumpkins because they're flatter. So you can use our standard ones, but I just tend to really like these. So I'm going to add, oh, that one came off, one of these little glue dots to one side, because what I'm going to do So I'm going to put it on both sides. So I'll show you so it makes sense. But we're only going to take one side off first. Okay, there's one set. All right. So what we're going to do is these pieces are going to adhere to the base down here. So I'm going to connect the bottom tabs to the bottom base. Okay, so I'm going to just put some tear and tape on there, and that will help me connect those. You can use liquid glue too. This just was right there, and I was like, oh, I'll use some tear and tape. I always like to burnish it over it. It makes it easier to get the backing off. Okay. So you're just going to fold those tabs up just like you're making a box, okay, and secure them like so. And then we are going to take and add our magnets down here on the top of that 2-inch piece. So I'm going to take one of the backs off one side, and I'm doing it this way, having them connected, so I make sure that I attach them to my project in the correct way so that they, I can do it like this. I'll show you what I can do. And I have it on the wrong side. So I'm going to get it off and put it on the other side. Because that's not the right way. Okay. So if you put one on, don't put the glue dot on the other side. Just take and stick it on. Comes off easily that way though. You'll be able to stick it that way and determine where it's going to go. And then so we'll do the same thing on the other side. It's kind of place one. And then I'm going to take this piece off. And you can just kind of hover over by it and it'll secure itself where it wants to be. Now I'm going to take and secure these two pieces down. So I'm going to use like a combination of tear and tape and liquid glue probably. Let's see, maybe I'll just use tear and tape. We are going to kind of squish this in to get it to secure up here. Oops. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue up here just to give it something to grab hold of. Take that backing off. So can you tell we're not making a card? we are making a fun box that has a magnetic closure. I'm just going to set my magnets over here now so I can kind of just give them a really good press. And you can kind of see them there, and that's okay. And I think you do need to miter both sets of tabs. I'm changing my opinion on that. Okay. Get that out of the way. All right. So I've got that much done. So here is kind of how our box is going to go together. Okay. Now we have some DSP to cut. I'm going to leave these up here, and we're going to do that part next. So I have this patterned paper, and I need to cut a 4 by 4 3/4 piece of it. And I want it to go up and down on my box. So I'm going to cut 4 3/4 this way by 4. And then we're going to cut it. We need a 1 3/4 of an inch section. And 1 1/2. Well, that 1/2 inch something I'm supposed to use? Or did I cut it the wrong? Oh, that's right. Okay. I don't know what that other, oh, the other piece goes up here. Okay, I'm like, I know that she did not have us cut something that we weren't going to use, because I know Rachel, and she is not going to do that. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Let's see, the smaller piece, yep. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this to the box. All 3 DSP pieces. One goes right here. This one is going to go on the top flap. Okay. And then this piece is going to go right on top here. Oops. Sliding around a little bit. Okay. So there's all of our patterned papers. Oh, but you know what, guys? Don't do what Jennifer does. You got to put your magnets down first. I forgot that part because I never made this box before. Make sure where it's going to go. Okay, so we want that. We're going to put, all right, I'm going to put the adhesive on the magnetic part because of the direction that we're attaching it. I'll just go down there. So I'm going to fold this down and I'm just going to, come on. All right, I'm pulling out a Save Yourself tool. I don't know if you guys have this stuff, but it is the best. And it helps you when you make a mistake, kind of get your paper apart without ruining your project. I think Stampin' Up! Needs to sell this, and they do not, but I have to let it dry a little bit. So I'm going to just set this aside and let it dry and move on to the other part. That's how I'm going to save this, because I forgot to put my magnets on properly before I attach that designer series paper. So we're going to give that just a minute. I'm going to give it a fresh glue dot when it comes to that. But I'm set that there, and we have some pieces to stamp and put together. So let's just drop all of our things out and take care of that. So we are going to stamp on our white oval. Pull this out. We are going to stamp a sentiment, first. I think that needs to go on first. It's going to be in Secret C. It says for you. Carol, you were watching. You're like, put the magnets on. I know. I haven't made this particular box before, but yeah. Now, or I haven't in a while, so, but that's okay. I'm going to fix it. It's going to be all good. It's going to be fine. It's almost dry already. All right. So I stamped the for you. I'm going to bring my little grid paper in here because I got to stamp off a little bit of, we're going to stamp these cattails. And something looks weird on here. And you see that there are 3 little cattails stamped on there, but we are going to cover them with these pieces. How smart is that? So I'm going to add a little bit of glue right on top of each of those cattails. I never would have thought of doing this. I would have been like, how am I going to color these? But that's one of the things I love about learning and crafting with others is you challenge your brain to think a different way. Oops, come on, go back to where you're supposed to go. Just trying to get it in place. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to take a little bit of Wink of Stella. Where is my Wink of Stella? It's already pulled out for me. And we're just going to go over those cattails, because you know how the cattails are kind of shimmery? I don't know if you've ever seen them at a lake or at a river or something. They are kind of shimmery. Can you see that? Shimmer. Hello, hello, ladies, for those of you joining now. Okay, so this is going to go in here, but we need a good way to join them. So this is the piece that came out of the center. So we're going to cut this in half like this. And we're going to turn this over, and I'm going to use it to secure the pieces by attaching it to the top of the scallop and then my white piece to secure them in place. Okay. So I just want to make sure it looks like it fits right in the hole, so it should be fairly easy to get it in place. Oh my gosh, come on, glue. I guess I need to replace my glue. Okay. Get it back together again. You don't want it to stick out beyond your scallops, but you do want it to stick to the top of it. So you want the glue kind of at the top. There seems to be plenty of glue in here, but it does not want to come out. Oh, they're all propped up the right way. Glue number 3. Okay. A little clogged, but I'm getting some out. Oh, there we go. Okay. So that should help keep them together. Okay. All right, so let me go back to putting on my magnets. So we want our box to close nicely. So let's see here. That's where it's at. Needs to go a little in. Okay. So I'm going to put some glue dot. Where's my glue dots? I'm just going to get all messy with this piece tonight. Maybe you have more experience putting these glue dots on a box than I do, but this is how we learn. Okay. I'm going to kind of press my paper around it. Yeah, and that clicks right in. Okay. Find the other one. Goes right down there. Okay. Make sure. Definitely this side. I have glue on my fingers now, so it's sticking to everything. Sticking to everything. Okay. Okay. Got it in place. Add my glue. Obviously need to use magnets more, huh? I need to learn how to do that better. Also need to I'm gonna clean my little mess up here. All right, we're almost done with this. So now, even though my glue's not stuck down yet, my box does clip down. So you have your little magnetic closure box, okay? And we are going to attach this here. Do you see how this is coming together? It looks so cute already. So what we're gonna do is we are going to attach this with dimensionals onto our box here. Doesn't say that. Oh yeah. Add the layered stamped oval piece in the middle with dimensionals. Okay. Exactly like you would do it. Okay. So this is going to go right up here where it's secured. So cute. Now we need some ribbon. So instead of that beautiful Berry Burst ribbon, we're going to use some of the bordered Secret Sea ribbon. And we're going to give it a nice bow. Okay. Like a good size. And that's actually going to go underneath so it peeks out of the bottom. We're going to attach that with a glue dot, and then we're about to get to our final little details. And kind of trim them based on where it, trim your ribbon ends based on where it lands on your box. Okay, we're going to add these two little leaves, and then we're going to give some gem action to this project, and then we will be done with project number 2. So let's take and add these with a little bit of glue. Right about here. These little die cut pieces are what make all the little detail. These are the special touches that make projects that people want to hold on to, or that they really, you know, these are the things that they're like, oh my gosh, you made that? I'm even amazed, like right now, like it's not even finished, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I made this cute little box. Now what am I going to put in it? What am I going to do with it? All right, so we need some gems on here. So we've got some green gems, and we're going to take one of the small ones and add it right on that little circle, right on there, right on top of the die cut. And then we're going to put a bigger one adjacent to it, right there. Okay. And then we're going to take and add a couple of these Secret Sea gems. Right on the sides here. Glue dot stuck on there. Piddly things. But I love all the piddly things. All right. So there is our cute little three-dimensional gift box. Let me clean up a little. See a little something I need to trim off here. Just a little. What should I put in it? Do you have any suggestions of what I should put in it? Here are our 2 cards for the Hello Spring Craft Along for tonight. So I'd love to know, hey, what would you put in this box? I'm just curious what you might put in it. And there is, oh, I missed one piece. Guys, we have one more piece to add. I missed it. I missed one piece on the inside. For a sentiment. So let me cut that really quick. Okay, 7/8 by 4 3/4. I was like, I have something else I'm supposed to stamp, I think. I don't think it'll fit our standard note cards, Lois. I'll show you. This is an envelope for the standard note cards, so it wouldn't fit those, but if you did like a little set of, it wouldn't fit 3-bys either. So it's smaller than that. I would say that it could fit. This is a box of candy that one of my friends brought me from Columbia. I don't think it will fit. No, not quite. It's a little too big. You could definitely fit some candy in it. A small pack of tissues, Debbie, might fit. That's a good suggestion. So Carol's voting that she likes the card the best. I'm going to stick my sentiment in the inside really quick. So vote in the comments for your favorite project of the night, either the garden trellis or the box. They're both super cute. So on the inside, maybe you could put like any kind of little gifties in there. This is going to go right on the inside. And I like that you're not trying to like put a whole place to write in here. But you could put some candies and then a little something else in there. Oh, you know, I love the little gummy packets. Like, I have different ones, but like, let's say you have a friend that likes sour gummy worms. You could definitely fit, you might have to fold it up a little, but you could fit a pack of these down in there. Look at that. So if you got the Craft Along kit and you got those sour gummy worms, that would go well in there. You could probably put a couple packs of these. I get these at Sam's. These were the Valentine's ones. Maybe just 2, so you could put those in there. It's a really cute box. That fits pretty good. You could probably put a pack of crackers in here, like the Captain's Wafers or something like that. So Lois likes the box. Debbie likes the box. Amanda likes the box. Everybody likes the box. Awesome. It is fun. And I definitely, like, if I would have made it ahead of time once, which I had planned to, but I didn't, because life was crazy, I would have been better at showing you how to attach those magnets. But it is really cute. So you can see it's an inch. Here, I'll give you the measurements. It's an inch wide. It's 2 3/4 inch tall, and it's 5 inches long. So that's the little box. And then there's that cute garden trellis card. I love it. Both of them. So if you didn't catch all of them, this is night 2. So here was night 1. Okay, these were the 2 cards we made for night 1 this way. And this little trifold was the fan favorite. And then tonight for night 2, these were my friend Rhonda's cards. These are my friend my friend Rachel's cards. And then tomorrow, who do we have tomorrow? We have Melissa Faust projects tomorrow. They're all super cute. So I hope you guys will join me tomorrow night. And don't forget to vote in the comments for your favorite, even if you're watching the replay. Oh, scratch off tickets, Debbie. That could be fun to put scratch off tickets in there. That's a great idea. And the small pack of Kleenex probably would fit. So definitely that would probably work. So thank you guys for coming to hang out with me tonight for the second night of the Hello Spring Craft Along. It's late for all of us. So let's say goodnight now, and let's meet up here again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And I will have 2 more projects. They are cards, both cards tomorrow night. Let me see. Oh, no, maybe they're not. Hold on. 1 card. I lied. 1 card and really cute 3D. So come back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and we'll do it all over again. Don't forget, you can get the PDF tutorial for $25. The link is in the video description. I also have, at the start of my video, I had 4 Craft Along packets available. So if you would like one of those, they are linked in the in the video description. And then if you place a $75 order with me this week while I'm doing the Craft Along, then you'll also get the PDF for free, as well as all the benefits of qualifying for Product of the Month. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.